Making sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk. Seku Sherry say, Labira, let's let go to Labira. It is a doctor. Bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk. Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to talk. Bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk. Seku Sherry say, Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to talk. Bringing sense to the issue. For better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk.
Why you allowed to take that long for them, mommy? Never give up in life. There will come a day things will be difficult, but all you need to do is to keep focused, do what is the best, and leave the rest with Allah. Good evening, folks, and welcome to the show Issues of Today here on Voice of Liberia 104.1. It feels good to return today on the show. We want to say thank you to Allah for making us to be back on the radio. There are many others that have been faced with lots of different issues. Some are going through a difficult period in their life. Converging this evening, it is not that we are so perfect and they do. It is because of the mercy of Allah, God Almighty, making us to be here. Good evening, Liberia. Welcome to the show Issues of Today on Voice of Liberia. My name is Seku Sharif. I'm going to be taking you up to 9 o'clock tonight on the show. And I want you to invite someone to listen along with us. As a matter of fact, we're going to be discussing all important issues in Liberia. Like I always remind you of the upcoming elections. There will be lots of things from the politicians. There will be lots of things they will come and say to you. And so you need to be very careful what you do. And it is a great day as we have a day to end this month. We entered into the next month, into June. You know, when we used to work for people during this period of the month, we start to remind our employers when the payday will reach. But it's good. You know, it's difficult, right? Good evening, folks, and welcome to the show. My name is Sekou Sharif, and I'm here tonight up to 9 o'clock. Like I was saying, right? When we used to be employees of different media institutions that we worked for, whenever, you know, this period of the month, we try to remind our employers when the payday will reach. You know, we start to put in more time. You know, usually when you want to see workers, you want to see how committed they are. It is from the 20th of the month. You will see them putting in more time, acting more serious than ever before. You know, the month is about to come to an end now. Pay slip will be dropping, and you have people moving, going to the various areas to get their salaries. And so you will see the seriousness and everything out of that. But I think some of the things that, you know, you observe, most, if not all, I think not in one sector, but in all of the sectors. And the worst area is the Liberian businesses that you have Liberians, you know, catering to customers. Yeah, most often you have very terrible experience with them in terms of what they do and how they, you know, they serve customers that will go to buy or whatsoever. I think it is most often a bad experience from businesses that you have Liberians. And I think that is one of the reasons why you see you don't have that customer relationship, customer service for most of, not all, but some of the Liberian businesses. You have someone that should do something at the end of the day, they will allow you that are going to pay your money to sit and work for them. You know, we should not. They don't talk to you in any respect. They talk to you the way in which they want to do it. If you notice, you will bear with me. You go to a Lebanese store, Indian business area. You will see the level of respect, you know, honor, concern they will show you. Unlike Liberian businesses, not all, but some, they have that sheer arrogance. They don't, you know, show that respect for customers. And I think it's something we need to work on, right? And like I said, now this cut across in every sector, even in the media, we Liberians will talk about we want job. We want to do a job. And at the end of the day, when you give people jobs, they tend to be the bosses on the job and don't do what they should do. So at the end of the day, when they are dismayed, they go to other areas, even to get a reference into where they've worked. It becomes a problem because your past working area will not serve you. Like I remember when some of us used to work with some of the media institutions in Liberia, whenever we about to resign, the institution will always ask us. Like I remember, I used to work with OK when we opened the radio station. When I was resigning, by that time Smith was in the States, and he asked me what was the reason I was resigning, and he was willing to work along with the management, along with Mr. Reeves, Mr. Red, to have my salaries increase. And I said, no, I don't want to increase salary. I just wanted to resign. And I thought that I needed to leave, OKFM. I'm trying to say in a short that when you serve, when even you are leaving any institution, people think about you, people mix out on you the things you did when you used to be there. But how many of us that we can say these things will happen to us, to our very working areas? How many of us will be amazed whenever we decide to leave? How many of us even will leave with that high level of respect? And, like you say, you want to leave someone, say, oh yeah, let the person leave me, at least they'll find another person to put them there. It shows that you've not done anything well. It shows that you've not served well. It shows that you did not do what you needed to do diligently. And it's bad. All that we do, we need reference. We need reference. If you cannot do, at times, some of the areas you work, not all of the things that will happen there will be good. But one thing is, you need to bear in mind that you've gone to do a little job. If you are, let me put this in the simple Liberian English. If you are a sweeper, do that to the best of your ability. Do not allow people influence you. If you are a security, do that to the best of your ability. Do not allow people to influence you. Because you never know. You never know that what you're doing today is something that you could have a bigger job from. Right? And some of these things I say to people, I always love to make reference to myself because I'm a living testimony to these things. I'm a witness to them. It is things that I've experienced in life. If anyone could say to anyone that Seku will have a radio station today, a few years ago, they will tell you, say, la, Seku will not do it. But some of us had a dream and we worked and we continue to work towards it. We were humble, we were submissive. Many of these things, people did things to us. We knew it in ourselves that they were not good, but we allowed them slide because we knew what we wanted. If some of us explained to you some of the things we went through to various areas that we worked, and some of you will now want to accept them, but because we accepted them, that is the reason why we are where we are today. Then we stay, even some of the people in the past that did some of the things to us, that felt that they were doing something to us, and we receive it, and we turn that thing they thought they were doing to us into good. Today they will see us and be very proud of us. So I'm saying this to every one of us out there. Maybe you work in any area. You could be in the media, you could be in the security sector, you could be in the field of education, in the judiciary, in the executive or out of government or in the business area. Once you are serving a setting at a particular time, you need to do all you can with all your best. The reason why most of us cannot achieve Our goal is because, right? Uh, the reason why that happened is because we are not patient-minded. We don't do what we are to do. When we're given little opportunity, we make use and abuse the opportunity. At the end of the day, you never know. You never know. Right? You never know. Okay, folks. Let me give you a line of what we're going to be doing. At 7 tonight, we will be joined by two Liberian politicians. One is from the ruling establishment, uh, and the next person is from the opposition. So we have Alfonso Bella from Unity Party. Mr. Alfonso Bella will join us at 7. And we're going to have a conversation along with Minister Abubakar Ba from the government. The two individuals will join us tonight. We're going to talk about the governance, the prospects of the government, the challenges, the success, and they're going to be giving reasons why they should retain all, they should be voted out, and what makes even Unity Party to be a party to be talking about, bad governance. They will share their thoughts tonight on the show when two of Liberia's best sons join us tonight as we dig into politics, looking at governance. And these are the kinds of conversations we need to be having as we're moving towards the October elections. These are the conversations we need to be having in our country, right? Because let's allow the young people to sit around the table. Let's allow the young people to discuss the issues. Let us disagree to agree, but we should not go back to the butchers. Let the young people that have always been used to do the wrong things in our country sit around the table and discuss the issues and provide solutions to some of the problems they think we face in our country, and also give reasons why there are no problems in Liberia. So the two young Liberians will join us here at 7 o'clock tonight. And that discussion is going to take us up to 9, at which time we call it a day to resume tomorrow on the program. But before then, I want to read you the press release from the Alternative National Congress. They use some strong words in it, and it has since caught my attention. And I think it's very important, prudent for us to look at it very carefully tonight. It says collaborating political parties, CPP, national headquarters, 19th Street, Singer, B-side, Monrovia, Republic of Liberia, for immediate release. Monrovia, Liberia, Monday, May 29, 2023. The collaborating political parties, CPP, condemns the foul trash spilled by the unrepentant mother, Prince Yomi Johnson, of the Movement for Democratic Reconstruction, MDR for short, which holds the vice tender bearer position of the opposition Unity Party during his so-called church service on Sunday, May 28, 2023. The murderous warlord defamed the purpose of worship and defiled the name of the Christian church, screaming hate-filled messages and lies against the tender bearer of the CPP, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. The recently named charismatic vice tender bearer, Councillor Charlene Bruskin, and the Chairman Emeritus of the Alternative National Congress, Anthony Rachel Good. The false prophet and cold-blooded murderer of hundreds of Liberians, including popular Liberian musician Tecumseh Roberts, used the pulpit of the church to hurl ridiculous, unfounded, hate-filled, and threatening rants, which are not just lies, but also reminders of his killer instincts and disregard for human life, truth, respect, and decency as the notorious and murderous leader of the Independent National Patriotic Front of Liberia, NPFL. It is obvious that his bride now views the CPP as the biggest to his murderous quest for the Liberian presidency, having failed multiple times to shoot his way into occupying our nation's highest office. Now, because Prince Johnson believes his hand-picked vice presidential candidate could become president at any time if the UP ticket is successful, he is using every dirty and wicked tactics to halt the momentum and popular advance of the CPP ticket. The blood-sustained killer of Liberians of all tribes, including sons and daughters of Nimba, sees himself closer to the Liberian presidency, this time with only the vaunted and momentum-building CPP in his way. Hence, his virtualities and slanderous rants against the opposition CPP must be seen in terms of the danger it poses to our beloved country. If this killer is anywhere near the Liberian presidency, this will not be accepted. Baboon should know the tree to rub itself against. We therefore call on Ambassador Joseph Boakai to condemn this provocation and vile attack against the CPP by his political partner and rein in his new bedfellows, or the CPP will. This is not an attempt or empty threats. As the emerging leader of the opposition, the CPP looks to work with the opposition community to make failed George Weah a one-term president. While this is our focus, we will not fail to deal decisively and aggressively with pretentious hustlers and known traitors of our democratic quest for real change in our country. Ambassador Boakai can choose to dance with the devil, but the CPP will not. We also call on the Liberian Council of Churches, the Liberian Pastoral Network, and leaders of the Christian faith in Liberia to condemn the blasphemous use of the pulpit and name of the Christian church by politicians and false prophets to slander and defame political opponents. This abuse of religion must stop now. The continued silence of leaders of the church can only aid and abet these false prophets and abuse of has evolved in our political space. He fears the CPP because he knows we are serious in our promise made to the victims, survivors, and family members of the over 250 Liberians who lost their lives in our civil war. That under they definitely answer for war crimes against the people of Liberia. Okay, they say lives in our civil war that under the CPP leadership, all warlords, including pay-to-play, self-styled General Prince Johnson, will definitely answer for war crimes against the people of Liberia. If the legislature fails to pass the bill, the CPP standard bearer, when elected, will appoint by executive order a special prosecutor on war crimes to end this long-standing impunity. They say Liberia deserves better. Real change is coming. Martin Sekula, Deputy National Secretary General CPP. Oh, you listen to that? You know, there were strong words used on Senator Prince Johnson. And in all fairness, all the words suits him. He's a warlord, notorious war criminal, a killer. He's a murderer. Is it true that he has murdered people? Yes. Yes. In two ways. I want to say this to Senator Prince Johnson, and I'll come back where in their release they said they want to make the term the sitting president as a failed president, and I will come to that issue and I will clarify and I will straighten the contradiction there, and I will set it in the right area, and I will beat some sense into the heads of the people, then I will move on. Now let me start with Senator Prince Johnson. You know, it is only in Liberia that people like Prince Johnson will be a pastor or a religious head. It is only in Liberia. Let's go to Sierra Leone. Where is Fode Sako? Where are the people that were involved into the wars in Sierra Leone? Where are they? What did the government do? Now, you don't blame Senator Prince Johnson, you blame we Liberians. That the people of Nimba, Liberia at large, they pay Senator Prince Johnson for the killings he did in our country. People like Prince Johnson should not even go near governance, should not go near power. People like Prince Johnson should not even see the daylight for what he did in our country. People like Prince Johnson should not even have the space to think that he can make a decision or to speak freely in this country. No matter what the issues in terms of us accepting to forgive and forget about the past, but justice should be served. like the past government and this government, they've not done well in making people like Prince Johnson to know what he has done to our country. Do you think Prince Johnson is supposed to get the guts to talk about people? You think he's supposed to? He should not. There's no way that Prince Johnson is supposed to be talking about politics in Liberia. He should be answering to questions of what he did. He should be answering to questions of what he did to people in this country, the lives he took. But see, in Liberia, you will see politicians running for Prince Johnson's support. Then you encourage Prince Johnson to think that he's so important. This is a man that killed innocent people, raped innocent girls, children in our country, women. So the only way you pay this man back is to give him a job, is to make him a senator. And you don't want to establish war and economic crimes code. And he opens a church. And he uses the church to pretend that he's good. But he's always threatening people. What kind of man is this? So he feels that he's the same, or he has the same right like all other person, because he has not gone to jail for what he has done. He has not answered questions for what he has done to our country. And that is the bad precedence that Liberia has set and continue to serve. To say, oh, we can't do retroactive justice, you gotta do this, we can't go back to the back days, we need to forget about what, we need to forget about the other thing here, we need to allow everything to happen. When you are allowing everything that happened in our country, the people that did the things in our country, they don't know that they should know better and stop creating the wounds. To the Prince Johnson, that newsmaker. Prince Johnson of all persons will be making news in our country. Prince Johnson will decide and look at someone and say anything to them. He wakes up and say this. And the reason why, sometimes when people say, oh, what the religious people, what they say, this is just a clear truth. The religious people themselves, they are politicians now. They into politics. They are not that independent like the way they used to be before. They have their own side. So if someone they favor, when they say something, they don't care. They don't say anything about them. You think Prince Johnson is supposed to have the guts to say he will say something to somebody in this country? This is a man that called me Omadingo and said that Omadingo should not be having a show. This Prince Johnson man, he feels that he has done nothing wrong. The man brags that he has never been to court to be indicted of whatsoever to say about him. Go and see, go and read history and see what Sierra Leoneans did to those of the people that are involved in the war.